Now, let us try to understand the next topic is acceleration. So first we discuss about the average acceleration of the object. What is the definition of average acceleration? The ratio of the change in velocity of moving object in xy plane and time interval is called the average acceleration of the object. This average acceleration is given by average of vector A equal to delta of vector v upon delta t, where delta v should be what? The change in velocity of the object. But we know this velocity v, instantaneous velocity v, is given by vxi plus vy. So if you replace this vector v by vxi plus vy, this average acceleration becoming average of acceleration equal to delta vx upon delta t into y plus delta vy upon delta t into g. So this is the average acceleration. This average acceleration equal to change in velocity upon the time interval. As the velocity is vector quantity, average acceleration will also be a vector quantity. Unit of acceleration is meter per second square, and direction of acceleration be the same as that of direction of change of velocity. That instantaneous acceleration, or you can say simply acceleration. The acceleration or instantaneous acceleration is the limiting value of the average acceleration as the time interval approaches to zero. So as we have discussed in the topic of instantaneous velocity, the same argument is here. So instantaneous acceleration is limit delta t tends to 0 of average acceleration. Average acceleration is given by delta v upon delta t. In the language of mathematics, this can be written as dv by dt. And this dv by dt can be read as the rate of change of velocity. So in short, the rate of change of velocity is called the acceleration of the object, or it is known as instantaneous acceleration. But again we know this v is given by instantaneous velocity is given by vxi plus vyj. Substituting, we can write dvx upon dt into I plus dvy upon dt into j, and this dvx by dt is change in velocity in x direction upon time interval gives the acceleration in x direction. dvy by dt is gives the change in velocity in y direction upon the time interval gives the acceleration in y direction. So thus this can be replaced by ax, this can be replaced by ay. So instantaneous acceleration vector A equal to axi plus ayj. In short, you can write this ax equal to dvx by dt, ay equal to dv by dt are known as x and y components of acceleration along x-axis and y-axis. In terms of x and y coordinates, this acceleration ax and ay can be rewritten as, so ax equal to d by dt. Now vx is replaced by what? Vx means velocity in x direction. Velocity in x direction, that means displacement traveling x direction upon time taken. So vx is replaced by dx by dt. So d by dt of dx by dt can be read as d square x upon dt whole square, because vx equal to dx by dt. Similarly, y component ay equal to d by dt of vy can be replaced by dy by dt. d by dt of dy by dt can be read as d square y upon dt whole square, because dvy equal to dy by dt. So thus we remember ax and ay can be written in terms of two ways. One, ax equal to dvx by dt, or you can write d square x by dt square. Another, ay equal to dv by dt, or you can write d ay equal to d square y by dt square. So here ax and ay are in terms of velocities, and here ax and ay are in terms of x and y coordinates of a position of a particle in xy. Now we try to understand the meaning of, because what is the definition of acceleration? It is nothing but the limiting value of average acceleration as time interval approaches to zero. The meaning of limiting process when delta t tends to 0 can be understood with the help of this following graph. So these are the graphs. Actually, there are the 4 graphs. But here I have drawn only the 2 graphs. You can just understand from the textbook, and the argument be the same as we have discussed in the topic of instantaneous velocity. Same argument. The difference is that in the topic of instantaneous velocity, there was a change in position vector, and because of which you are getting displacement vector in time interval delta. Here in acceleration, you are getting the change in velocity in time interval, and that change in velocity is in whichever direction. In that direction, there will be average acceleration. But this average acceleration becoming instantaneous acceleration when time interval delta t tends to 0. So here, as we have seen last time, the same argument is here. Let p be the, here we consider this is the motion of a particle along a curved path. So at every different position of particle, there are different with the directions of velocity. And we are going to be showing these are the different positions at different times. P be the position of particle at time t. P1 be the position of particle at time t plus delta t1. P2 be the position at time t plus delta t. P3 be the position at time t plus delta t3. So delta t1 is the time interval between P and P1. Delta t2 is the time interval between the 2 positions P and P2. Delta t3 is the time interval between 2 positions P and P3. And during each time interval, you will get a corresponding displacement change in velocity vector. And change in velocity vector is final velocity minus initial velocity. So every time it will be v dash minus v, and that delta v, according to the method of triangle, in which direction you are getting, in that direction there will be average acceleration. But here this P1, P2, P3 are the position at time interval delta T1, delta T2, delta T3. And you know this time interval goes on decreasing. And as the time interval goes on decreasing, the position like P1, P2, P3 comes closer and closer to the initial position. So finally, what will happen here, as we have discussed last time, when delta t tends to 0, then this next position after the P will be very, very close to the P. And in that case, the average acceleration will be nearly equal to what? Instantaneous acceleration. And this instantaneous acceleration you will find in the direction of change in velocity, and that change in velocity will be in the direction of acceleration. Or you can say instantaneous acceleration will be in the direction of change in velocity, and you will find here acceleration and velocity are making somewhat angle, and this angle probably is 90 degree if this kind of the path is curved path. Otherwise this angle will be greater than 0 degree and less than 180 degree. So we remember, in case of a motion of a particle in 2 dimension or 3 dimension along a curved path, the velocity vector v and vector a are not in same direction, but they are making a somewhat angle, and that angle is probably between 0 degree and 180 degree. That depends on the type of curved path. If that curved path is completely like a circle, then always the velocity and acceleration are perpendicular to each other. So not that here in this topic, in one dimension motion that means particle is moving along x direction or along negative x direction. That means in forward direction or backward direction. Or you can see it is moving in upward direction or downward direction. So that is one dimension motion. Not that. In one dimension motion, the velocity and acceleration are always along the same straight line. And that straight line is either in the same direction or in opposite direction. Sometimes what happens, velocity and acceleration are in same direction if a particle is moving in one dimension. But you will see sometimes the velocity and acceleration are in opposite direction. Velocity in forward direction and acceleration is in backward direction. But this can happen. only when, suppose you consider there is a one train is moving with constant velocity, and all of a sudden one is going to be what, pulling the chain of a train. That's why the velocity of the train goes on decreasing. And as the velocity decreasing, then in that case, its acceleration will be in backward direction, even though the velocity is in forward direction. So in that case, velocity and acceleration are opposite to each other. Otherwise, for a particle moving in one dimension, the velocity and acceleration are in the same straight line direction. That means making an angle equal to 0 degree. But sometimes it is 180 degree. But for motion in 2 dimensions or in 3 dimensions, the velocity vector and acceleration vectors may have any angle between 0 degree and 180 degree between them.